29,305 days. That is how many Minecraft days it took to build my mega base. I started this project with one goal in mind, and that goal was to build the biggest Minecraft mega base I had ever taken on. Now, I have played Minecraft since it came out on the Alpha Edition, and I have done a lot of crazy projects over the years, but none that compare to the size, scale, and commitment of this build. Now, I did this entire build on Bedrock Edition Minecraft, so we do not have a blocks placed stat. However, based on the amount of shulker boxes of snow and moss alone, I can estimate I've easily placed between 5 and 8 million blocks over the last year and a half to complete this build. After watching this base tour video, if you're curious about the build itself, you can go check out my YouTube. All of the previous streams building the mega base are saved over there. Just like previous base tours, I'm going to start the tour at the top of the build. This is the very peak. These end rods here at the top are at build height, 320 blocks in the sky. If you watch some of my older videos, you'll see that I used to stand here at the very center of the base and say, my goal is to build the base so big that you can just barely see the edges loaded in within a render distance. Before we put in the cityscape, when this was all open, you could just barely see the edges of the outer walls within render. But looking down from up here, you'll see I have a bunch of happy gas hanging out. I had to re-record the intro at least twice because I left Minecraft audio on and it was just nothing but my voice and happy gas noises. So, 2 takes on that. Anyways, I have a bunch of happy gas here over the top of my storage area. Of course, I just realized I'm starting this at night, but if we run off the edge of the roof here, kind of take a little 180 fly in, this is the garden level of my base. It is called that because I have these very large crop gardens up here. I use crops throughout the build to add a little bit of color. I know beetroot is not the most useful block in the game, or it's probably one of the least useful items in the game. However, gotta admit that a beetroot field looks pretty nice. Dropping down from above the beetroot, this comes to storage. I just posted a storage tour video over on my TikTok. That video will not be coming to YouTube, but to give you guys a brief summary of this room, it's 280 auto sorters, holds anywhere between 2.8 to 3 million items if I were to completely fill it up. I do have a bunch of copper golems wandering around the storage room. They're not currently sorting anything. They're just here for lore or ambiance or just to add some liveliness to the build. The entire storage room is done fully automatic behind the walls with redstone auto sorters. Anything that goes into this shulker box right here is automatically sorted into any of the chest modules. You also might notice, if you're one of my viewers, that hey, all of the shulker boxes that were here were all cleaned up. Yeah, they're now in this box, and I still need to run them through storage, but you're not getting away that easy. We're doing that on stream. This bed right here was my original bed in this build for the longest time. We'll get to my penthouse and all of that in a second, but for probably about a year while working on this build project, I lived out of my Harry Potter closet bed, and for old time's sake, I'm going to sleep real quick. Now that it is morning, we will get back into it. You'll notice throughout the build that the different directions are labeled with ores. What I mean by that is everything in this direction is labeled with redstone blocks, everything in that direction with emerald, everything in that direction with diamond, and then everything in that direction with iron. If we go down the iron tunnel, run down here, you come down these stairs. This brings you to the side hallways that lead to the nether hub. I have a dozen portals throughout the base. They are all portal linked to enter and exit different areas. That way, if I want to, or if I'm on foot, I can fast travel throughout my base using nether portals. So that is the end of the tunnel. You'll also notice that throughout the base, I have water columns everywhere. I do have an elytra on, even though it's badly damaged, and I do use an elytra to move around the base pretty much all the time. However, I wanted to make sure that I had water streams in case I didn't have my elytra or I was, you know, bringing somebody in who didn't have an elytra. I wanted to be able to make sure that my base was entirely able to be crossed without having to rely on an elytra. So you can run from the outside of my base all the way up into the core and storage without an elytra. If we go up this water column here, we'll come out to the city layer. Another thing to note, when you see lime green wool, it means bubble column going up. If you see regular green wool, it means bubble column going down. That's how I designate up and down in the megabase. This whole layer right here is a city. It is completely spawn proof. What I mean by that is the entire cityscape is either carpeted or bottom half slabbed or has leaf blocks. Nothing can spawn in the city. I wanted to have a safe place for, you know, myself at the base. However, inside the buildings, they're not lit up. So stuff still spawns in there. You might notice blocks missing here and there. That's because Endermen like to steal different parts of the base. Going around the outside, it's nothing too fancy. We just put in these nice little, you know, trees with our lights and then a little enchanted armor stations holding different tools. Again, you can see that because we're out in the iron direction, these guys are standing on iron blocks. You can see down there, diamond direction, standing on a diamond block. I also should point out that I have 38 beacons in the base. That way, all throughout the core, you get speed 2, strength 2, regen, and resistance. I don't use 6 beacons just because I don't like jump boost. It throws me off, and I don't exactly need haste 2 while I'm, you know, here. Haste 2 is a mining. I don't really need that one here. Anyways, working our way back into the core of the city. I'm not going to go all the way around. The city is pretty much uniformed completely around the base. All of the buildings do not have interiors except for this one, which we will go over in 1 second. I want to point out another feature of the city level. Following our sidewalks here, you'll notice that there are holes in the floor. Even though I use bubble columns to move around the base, I needed a way to fly through using my elytra. So you'll notice that there are various fly-through sections of the base. That way, if you have an elytra, you can drop down through it, fly through the core, and then fly back up through the floor. It just makes getting around the base much, much easier. The next part of my base I want to go over is the custom skyscraper we built. Like I said before, pretty much all of these buildings do not have an interior. They just look like they do from a distance, but this build did have a full interior built out. If you come in here, you'll find a room where I keep all of my pets. I don't think I've ever had this many named mobs in Minecraft ever, but once I started streaming, I realized that my chat liked to grow attached to any and all mobs that I saw for less than half a second. So this is where all of my named mobs have ended up for the most part. I did leave a few of the rooms unfinished. I did this on purpose because when the world download comes out, I wanted you guys to be able to add your own rooms, your own customization to my build, if you would like to build your own rooms and areas. This gold will make sense later. I'll explain why that's important. But again, if we go up our water stream, this will take you to the penthouse. Now, my penthouse is the only interior I've done in Minecraft in many years, so don't judge it too harshly, but we have our little reading nook here. I have our closet. I need to go get more armor and stuff for this. I still have not filled out our closet. I actually finally built a master bedroom, a master bed in the base, so I now have an actual proper bed. This was my first enchantment table in the world. We moved this from the skeleton farm to the industrial base, and now it lives here in the penthouse. We've got our nice TV with the couch in the entertainment system. We put in a Christmas tree with a couple gifts around the tree. Running over here, we have our conversation pit. And then we have our little bar right here, as well as the kitchen and the conference room table. This is the full map of the megabase. It takes just over 7 maps to map in each direction, and it's a little under 800 blocks wide at its widest peak to peak. I do have a full set of enchanted copper armor. When the Copper Age update came out, we rocked enchanted copper armor for a while. It was fun, but I went back to my netherite shortly after. And then we have our aquarium right here with some nice tropical fish swimming around. Leaving the penthouse, we will go down another water stream and work our way back out through the city. So, take a little fly over here, go right here, and then jump off the edge. Surrounding my mega base, I originally was going to do custom biomes all built around here, or a custom biome up there. We threw around a lot of different ideas, ended up settling on building kind of a Hunger Games-esque clock map, making 16 unique Minecraft biomes surrounding the mega base. In order, they are a mushroom island biome. We obviously have an ends island biome. We've got the desert, and before you say it, yes, there's extra cactus in the desert. I like cacti in my desert. We've got a pale garden. We've got a deep dark. We have the mangrove swamp. My favorite biome that we've built, a taiga biome right here. After the taiga biome, we have a cherry grove biome. And then our flower forest biome, followed by a jungle edge biome or a sparse jungle biome. Next to that is a full built out lush cave biome. We then have our enchanted dark oak forest, a full coral reef biome for the Mounts of Mayhem update. We built a soul sand valley biome, a crimson forest biome, and then lastly a warped forest biome. So each biome is a nice little slice of the base, and they kind of flow together, but we did keep some of the original walls to kind of show how they are spaced apart. There are 4 entranceways to the mega base. Right now, there are no ways to get to the base on foot. You would have to cross the water. There aren't bridges built to land. If you want access to the base, you would have to boat up to them, then climb over the outer edge, or come through the nether hub, and we will view the nether hub at the end of the video. But, again, you can see that this is the iron portal entrance of the outer wall. It has this nice grand entrance, and I do get a lot of feedback. Why did you leave the outer walls blank? They look imposing. So I wanted to leave the outer walls flat white just because when you get into the base, you'll start seeing lots of details and lots of shapes added in. This outer wall was meant to feel imposing when you were looking up at it. But you can follow in one of the 4 entrances and work your way all the way into the lower garden area. In here, I didn't really know how to fill these spaces, so I kind of put these pathways around the edges and mirrored the upper gardens with more gardens down here. These are very, very, very large crops of carrots and beetroot and wheat. If you ever run out of food at my base, it's totally your fault, because I'm pretty sure there are enough carrots here to have survived almost 34,000 days on the world. But again, just like everywhere else in the base, it's completely spawn-proof down here. I could leave my character right here, go walk away, come back in an hour, and I would still be standing here perfectly safe and fine. Working our way around back to our entrances, we will go into the core of the base. Lime green to go up, bubble column goes up, and we run into our hallways. So I do have a few auto crafters down here. I have not used these in a very long time. This was just a quick shulker box crafter. This one did sea lanterns, and that one did solid blocks. We used these a lot when we were first starting out because I would load all of these up, then go AFK. That way all of my stuff would be crafted when it was time to stream. We started the whole mega base project right in here. This was the original concept for the base. You might hear them being stuck in the water streams right now, but the base is actually centered over a guardian farm and an iron farm as well. We're standing in the iron farm. I probably should have specified that, but you can see that there are guardians and golems spawning. They're a little hung up right now because they haven't filtered each other in a minute. because I don't really use this area much anymore. But full iron farm and guardian farm at the core of the base, and all of the drops end up in these chests down there. If we go up one level from these, actually I should, before I move on, there is a second guardian farm built at the base. This build is not centered over the underwater temple, it's actually built off one side of it. That way I could take advantage of the other edge to make another guardian farm. So this guardian farm does get used a lot. This one is a trident killer up there, taking advantage of spawn platforms. That way I have a way to AFK for XP here at the base and not have to use my industrial base to do my XP grinding. However, most of my XP lately has just come from bottles of enchanting from the villager trading hall. Let us go up one level. This is the throne room. This was originally where the storage area was. These walls of moss used to be chests, and I had 3 levels of chests here that was fully auto-sorted, and then we never ended up using it. Before I put this, all of the redstone was built, all of the water streams are in, but before I actually started filling it, I decided that I didn't want my storage down here, I wanted my storage up there. So, we ended up tearing everything out up here, and moving it up there, but we kept the throne room, and we kept my throne because back when I was AFKing, this was my AFK spot. I could AFK here and do guardians and golems at the same time. Moving up from the... Oh, this one's not labeled. Moving up from the throne room, we'll get to the diamond layer of the base. Come out right here. You can see that I have a quad diamond beacon here at the center. We built this a long time ago, keeping it with the same effects. It is solid diamond blocks all the way through. No, I'm not going for netherite. I don't want to do that ever. Diamond was good enough. All of the rest of the beacons are a mix of gold and iron and emerald, but this was our flex beacon. I'm, again, not doing netherite. Moving on. This was the original core, so you can see, again, 4 portals. We even have these custom fountains that we didn't do anything with. Yeah, I don't have any. I don't know why I mentioned the fountains. There's custom fountains here that we never did anything with. This area of the base isn't necessarily super spawn proof. However, anything that spawns down there isn't going to be able to get up to this level. And then you can take any of these water columns. We'll take this one right here, and this will bring us right back up to storage. You can see, looking out, going up, and we are back at the garden level of the base, right above storage. So that concludes the tour of my first ever Minecraft mega base. Now, some of you may be asking in the comments, hey, Kinger, what's the plan now? Well, in case you didn't know, I play on the ClockCraft SMP, the world I am currently on, and Season 1 of this world comes to a close 1 week from today, next Sunday. So myself and the other members will be moving on from this world to start a brand new world, which means this base is being left behind. But that is not something to be sad about. I treat Minecraft worlds like an art project. I set myself some sort of goal to accomplish, and once that goal has been accomplished, that world is completed for me. My project is completed. This world was the mega base. We built this absolutely amazing base here on the server. It's beautiful. We're never going to delete the world. However, this world for me was this base project. Now that the base is completed, I'm good. I'm done. I did what I set out to do. I'm ready for a new world, a new project, a new challenge, and I get to start all of that with you guys here on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. When we launched ClockCraft on April 7th of 2024, I had a little under 17,000 followers. Finishing up Season 1, I am closing in on 75,000 followers. So I have made 50,000 new friends since starting this project, starting this world, and I am super excited to get to do that journey again in a new world starting in 2026. Also, in case you guys didn't know, I feel like I say that term a lot, we're releasing a free copy of this world once the season concludes. This copy will come out in the first few weeks of January once we get everything ready to go. And you guys will be able to download this world for yourselves so you can explore my megabase on your own Xbox, your own PlayStation, your own PC, your Switch, your phone. It might struggle a little bit, but you'll be able to explore my base and the other members of ClockCraft spaces on your own devices after watching this base tour video when the season concludes. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video will be going up on both TikTok and YouTube. Regardless of where you watched, you should like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and like and follow if you are on TikTok. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be going live in about 30 minutes to an hour after posting this. We've got to go finish sorting all of those shulker boxes. I know it's not the most exciting thing to do, but we got to get it done. I will be going... Oh, wait. I'm definitely looping my outro here. I will be going live, yada, yada, yada. As always, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Tell someone you love them, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.